Right, well, it's a bit of a strange one today. It's a good morning to Mr. Salmon.
Morning, Gary.
The morning after the night before. Reflecting on a 2-1 FA Vase win down at Christchurch,
Yeah.
Putting us into the fifth round for the first time in the club's history. What were your thoughts on the game?
I think the game was exactly what we expected. An organised, competitive, physical Christchurch side that we knew a little bit about. You know, we didn't have masses of intel on them, but we knew enough to know what to expect. They didn't disappoint. I guess it would be the best way, and we set ourselves out with a plan to negate their threats, but equally to create our own. And I think, you know, it wasn't the prettiest of fixtures. It wasn't the greatest game to watch as a spectacle. But this is cup football, and you know, let's be brutally honest about it. It's about being in the hat on Monday, which we are. So, after a difficult tie in the previous round, which was over 2 legs against Lancing, again, I think one of the best teams at Step 5. We've said it quite openly.
Yeah.
You know, in terms of their technical shape and ability, you know, but we've seen them off over 2 legs, and you know, we've put ourselves in, as you say, in the hat in the fifth round, last 16 for the first time for the club, which is an amazing feeling this morning.
Yeah, they just alluded to it. It was never a pretty game yesterday. A lot of the time we were on the back foot, but then when you've got a player who can throw the ball from the halfway line into your penalty area, you are going to be. But I thought we stood up really well, considering when you look at how we performed the week before to the aerial threat, when we looked all over the place.
Yeah, absolutely.
This week, completely different animal. The boys, I mean, you did make a few changes. We'll go through those in a minute. But the boys at the back stood up superbly, won most of their headers.
Yeah.
We were better on the second ball. We didn't really let them get. They had chances, obviously, but we did well in getting around the ball a lot of the time.
Yeah, they did. I mean, certainly, you know, we're conscious of the fact that they created chances through their direct style of play, but I think with a combination of good defending, resolute defending yesterday, and let's be honest, you know, some poor finishing from them. I think they would have kicked themselves at a few of the opportunities, particularly in the first half that they created. You know, we've taken a narrow lead in at half time, which I think, if you look at the game plan technically, we thoroughly deserved. You know, we came out very, very quick out of the trap, so we started well. It was a fairly even, you know, opening exchanges. And we've ended up with a fantastically well worked goal from a set piece, which we do well at times.
Yeah.
And a top draw at any level strike from Pagey to put us one up, and that kind of settles the nerves a little bit, I think. And then you know what, gives you something to defend as well a little bit.
Yep, that's fair enough. When you look at the side, you made 3 changes to your back line from the Naphill game. You pushed Malachi back to right back.
Yep.
Nathan Ayling was fit again, and you moved Aaron Good into a centre half position.
Yeah.
How do you think that worked?
I think it was a double-edged sword. We had to react from the disappointment of last Saturday. We couldn't alienate any one particular person or identify any one individual.
Yeah.
So you know, you had to make, if you were going to make changes, I think you needed to make a statement and make 2 or 3 changes. What we did was we still kept square pegs in square holes, we felt, and you know, we had a tremendously experienced pairing with Nathan and Aaron starting in the central, you know, defensive positions. And you know, let's be honest, Malachi is very versatile. Slotting Malachi in at right back, left back. You know, either flank is completely within his capabilities. So we felt that the look of it looked good, and knowing that what was coming, we felt it would give us the dynamic to deal with it.
Okay. In midfield, you had a bit more dynamism this week with the return of Adam Allen and Ollie Twan, and I think they struggled to cope with Ollie at times. I mean, his pace,
I mean,
all-round game is just.
I think Ollie's an enigma, isn't he? Because we've certainly missed the balance that he brings for the last 3 or 4 weeks since his injury in the first Lancing game. But really, you know, he could have done with 45 minutes yesterday.
Yeah.
Because that is his first game back in 6 weeks or thereabouts, and I think injuries conspired against us yesterday, and we felt that was the biggest frustration out of the tie yesterday. We were forced to make changes because of reactive issues on the pitch, injuries and stuff, rather than anything technical or tactical. So although that forces your hand a little bit, I still think we got the changes right, because we weren't looking for massive reactions from the changes. We were looking for players to come in and consolidate from what the boys was doing on the pitch.
Okay. Craig Hastings came on late in the first half.
Yeah.
After last week's performance, I thought he was superb this week.
There was never an issue with Craig coming on yesterday. I think the issue was from the outset. As I said, we had to make a statement right from the get-go. So Craig is a seasoned player. He's an exceptionally good central defender. Last week, defensively, we were woeful, and we didn't deal with the very similar threats.
Yeah.
So bringing him on yesterday, that even at that stage, I'd have brought him on after 20 minutes without any qualms.
I think the point I'm trying to make this time is to come on with 10 minutes to go in the half when you've been quite cold, and to come on and you're going to be under pressure straight away. I thought he stood up superbly. I thought it was probably one of his best games for us yesterday.
Yeah, no question. And I think it was just a reaction that we needed from him.
Yeah.
So, and I think it was a reaction that he needed for himself.
Okay. We did things slightly differently this week. Obviously, got the boys together on the Friday night. Nice journey down, stay in a hotel. Mm-hmm. It's a whole preparation thing, isn't it? Prepare correctly, and you'll hopefully get the result that you look for.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we struggled, even though these are only kind of a couple of hours trips. The guys sat on it elongates the day. Yeah. So it's an early start. You've only got to have one or two people running late, which we had at the Lancing trip. You come straight out of a coach, which is good for the team building side of it, but quite prohibitive in terms of everyone's kind of a bit cramped in and everything's a little bit tight, and then you get out after 2.5 hours, and certainly in the Lancing we were straight onto the pitch for the warm up, and I think it affected us quite detrimentally. So we had a long debate as to whether or not it was the right or wrong thing to do. We still brought spectators coach down, and the coach was well full with supporters as well as the people that travelled down. So a massive thank you to everybody that made the journey down yesterday to support, because that was that they were our 12th man yesterday. That was incredible.
Yeah, I mean, we had some regulars who came down. We had a lot from Sutton United who which was brilliant. All you see on Twitter from them is that they love the day. So hopefully that will build a few more sort of bridges but get a few more of them to come back down again.
A few links,
so.
Absolutely. Yeah, they're very, very welcome anytime. But anyway, so going back to where we were, so we decided to give people the opportunity to come down on the Friday at their leisure, be quite relaxed in accommodation that was 10 minutes from the ground, which the players have self-financed. So I think that was important to say as well. It was very much at their request. So although we've supported it, they've drove it, and they've acted in a very professional way. They came down. We had a good little bit of a team sort of building on the Friday, early nights. Everyone's got up good on Saturday, relaxed. We had breakfast, and we had a chance to have a meeting with everyone. And I just felt like the preparation yesterday it just felt good. It also felt like it gave the competition and the stage that little bit more kudos.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. So next round, home tie?
Absolutely. Yeah. Next question.
That's it really, mate.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you know what? Listen, we all know that if you're in the last 16, which is a phenomenal achievement in itself. There's no easy draw. There's the teams that are in here because now they despite against contrary opinion, I don't want to use any expletives at this time of the morning, but poor teams don't get to this round. Yeah, so anybody that wants to have a little criticise about the nature of the way that we've got here, well, you know what? Monday we're in the draw. I'll send you a few messages afterwards just to let you know what we think about it, into the individuals that have been vocally critical or even sneakily critical about the way that we've done it. This is the magic of cup football. It's about being efficient, and we've been efficient in these tough last few rounds. So I send bit of special love out to one individual who was tied up with the club before this last one. I'm going to message him individually.
Okay.
I've heard some rather disparaging stuff in the last 24 hours from a very bitter individual. But we're in the 5th round.
Yeah, and let's be fair. If you defend for 89 minutes and you win 1-0, who cares?
Do you know what? Exactly that. And we haven't.
No.
But that's exactly that. And I'm sure I don't know any manager that wouldn't take 40 1-0s, scrappy or whatever, for a season to win a league. So it's nonsense. People need to keep their opinions, to themselves. And when you chirp off to other people, and it gets back to you, it lingers.
It does. Right, on that happy note, we'll wrap this up. Thank you very much for your time, mate, and thank you for helping organise a fantastic weekend for the boys. Again, we've said thank you for the supporters. It's just been a great weekend.
Yeah, that's it. No, you're very welcome, mate. Excellent, and roll on tomorrow's draw. Thank you.